Hey guys, Vegan Mercenary here, back in another video, and today I'm back with some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. In the last episode, we finished off our final day of investigation by looking into the Dl6 incident, figuring out how that caretaker is connected to the Dl6 incident and to Miles and to Robert Hammond. We found out that the caretaker is, obviously, well, I say obviously, but what we figured out last time was that the caretaker is actually Yanni Yogi, and he had instructions on a letter of how to kill Robert Hammond and blame it on Miles Edgeworth. And that letter was written and sent by none other than Manfred von Karma. Now, why Manfred von Karma would want to frame his surrogate son for murder, who knows? We're going to figure that out today, aren't we? Or at least I hope we're going to figure it out today, right? This is it. Judgment Day. Today things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. Ah! What's the bad idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah, thanks, Maya. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. I hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. Whoa! What are you doing? Sorry, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Maya, maybe you should go outside and discharge. Right, good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. Whoa, yeah, pal! What's gone into that girl? Detective Gumshoe. Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How'd it go, Detective? Have no fear. As promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took him all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his own name, but that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm going to prove it. Well, it's gonna be a lot to prove, but hey, we've got a whole day in court to do it, right? We've got a whole day in court to do this. Last day, actually. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Right. Very well. We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood. Come on! Don't be awed into silence by every little thing he says. Very well, Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was a murderer. However, the caretaker is yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. There's something you're setting up here, Von Karma, and I don't like it. There's something that he's setting up here. There's something he's doing here, and I don't like it. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in a boat rental shop on the lake from where he witnessed this incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity. Witness, why did you run away yesterday? The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. The voices from the judge and Manfred von Karma are very similar from what I'm hearing of myself. I don't know how it sounds on camera or through the microphone, but... oh no! I'm realizing they're very similar, because I'm forgetting all the voices I've done. I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did, but I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly, see? I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as is. Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, shall we? He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi, and I'm going to prove it. Okay. How are we gonna prove that? Let's find out, actually. There's 2 statements you need to press him on. You gotta press him on this. You've lost much of your memory, is that correct? Yep. Seems like it. But how could you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he was. You claim he's lying to show the court proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old codger's head? Codger? What is an old codger? Hold on, wait, let me Google this, because I don't know. What is an old codger? Do I have... What? What is an old codger? You have to press this statement, too. Hold on, I need to Google this now. I can't see my keyboard. Oh, we'll Google it later. Actually, wait, no, I have my phone. What am I doing? Okay, let's see. Codger. Old codger meaning. Definition of codger: an often mildly eccentric and usually elderly fellow old codger. Well, I don't know if he's eccentric. He's definitely elderly at this point. I don't think he's eccentric, though. I don't think he fits the definition of eccentric. Anyway, you gotta prove that he's... What? Brain? Hello? Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes. Yes, Your Honor? You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past, or lack thereof, into question. But does this really have anything to do with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said he has nothing to do with this case and no motive. Both of these statements are lies. Oh, okay. Different tangent here that I'm gonna go on for a brief moment. The Ace Attorney soundtracks are really freaking good. Of course, you have like the pursuit themes, the objection themes, the detective themes, the prosecutor themes of every game in this franchise, and those are all really good. But like just the general soundtracks of these games are really good to listen to. I found myself listening to the pursuit themes of the games while doing homework and studying, and that actually helped so much. It's the same thing when people say like, oh, if you listen to the Mario Kart soundtrack while studying, it will actually help you study faster or study better. Same thing, but with Ace Attorney soundtracks for me. But even outside of that, I'll listen to Ace Attorney soundtracks on my own. Like, I'll listen to the Spirit of Justice soundtrack. I'll listen to the Dual Destiny soundtrack. I'll listen to the the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, I believe is what it's called. That soundtrack's also really good. The Ace Attorney Investigations that feature Miles Edgeworth, those are also really good. Obviously, the original Trilogy and Apollo Justice also have really good soundtracks. It's just, I'm naming things as they come to mind. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please tell us the witness's name. The witness's name is Yanni Yogi. His name is Yanni Yogi. A corner Bort Bailiff. What? I don't even know what I was going to say there for a second. Oh, Yanni Yogi from the Dl6 Incident. It figures a judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case. Well, what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive. I missed a lot of dialogue here while I was going on my little tangent and also trying to figure out what the hell codger meant. So I missed a lot of dialogue there, and I apologize for that, but we're back to it. I will try not to go on any tangents more than I need to, which hopefully will happen okay, it might happen at least once more in this video, but we're gonna prevent that. We're gonna try and prevent that from happening. We're gonna try not to go on any tangents on this video, in the midst of this video. We're gonna try. Okay. Anyway, allow me to read once more. Oh, what was that voice I did for Von Karma? I don't remember. Allow me to repeat once more. The witness is lost. That's not his voice. That's Edgeworth. Don't remember. I don't remember these voices, man. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I've got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you going to prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare it to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. I see. That makes sense. Karma, what's going on? Huh? so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? What? No fingerprints? You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with the stuff. Yup. What? Yogi, you sneak. You burned your fingerprints off to hide your past. Well, the witness has no fingerprints. I guess we will not be able to prove his identity. Couldn't y'all draw blood and then DNA test that way? Am I wrong? This may just be a moment of me being uneducated or unaware, but can't you, like, do DNA tests by drawing his blood and comparing it to another DNA sample like, another blood sample or DNA sample of his? Could you not do that? Can you not do that? Is that not a thing? Is that just something I've made up over the years or something? What are we going to do? That is a good question, Von Karma. What are we going to do? It seems that the case has been decided. No! No! I know what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. No, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one. Nick, what are we going to do? I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine his parrot for a little comic relief, hmm? Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine his parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to... Your Honor! The defense would like to take Mr. Von... I can't take this seriously, I'm so sorry. I cannot take this next part seriously, no matter how much I've played through this game. The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Karma up? On my proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's parrot. I can't take myself seriously when I say that line. Oh my goodness. Oh, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even ask? This is a farce. I object. Objection! Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested. Well, if you're so desperate, then please, be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy! Well, still want to go through with your little game? Yes, I'm doing it, or no, maybe not. Yes, I'm doing it. In order to progress through this game and have a chance of getting Miles Edgeworth found innocent, you have to cross-examine the caretaker's parrot. And yet, this is not the most ridiculous thing you have done in this series of games. It's not the most ridiculous thing. Well, it's up there. It's very far up there on that list. But it is not the most ridiculous thing, because here's the thing. At least when you cross-examine a parrot, the parrot can mimic human speech, correct? It has a capability to mimic human speech, and thus you can't have somewhat of a conversation with a parrot. This is not the craziest thing that has happened in these games. In a courtroom. I'm gonna end that there, because that's something we'll see farther down the road. Way farther down the road, though. It's very far down the road, but we'll see it eventually. That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name! The witness is ignoring me. It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please, testify for us. Certainly the most concise. Yes, very well. Right. I don't know. What do we do, Maya? cross-examining a parrot. We've heard the parrot's testimony, now we gotta cross-examine the parrot by pressing her on her first statement. My bad. Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her. Right, what do I say? Have we forgotten something? What's your name, or what's the safe number? You say, what's your name? Maybe I should get her to say her name? Polly, what's your name? Polly! Ah! Mr. Wright, I think we've established that this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with her owner's identity? Of course it does, because why the hell wouldn't? Wouldn't it? Sorry. Why the hell wouldn't it? I'm gonna look through the court record real quick, because I don't believe we went over this previously. But if you look at the Dl6 case file and check it, if you look over onto the suspect data, you will see Yanni Yogi, age 37, court bailiff, trapped in the elevator with the Edgeworths, memory loss due to oxygen deprivation. After his arrest, his fiancée, Polly Jenkins, committed suicide. Polly Jenkins. Coincidentally, the same first name as his pet parrot. Huh, fascinating. You claim that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity? And show us this proof. Nick, don't you think you're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, the proof that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity is the Dl6 case file. The Dl6 case file? That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on, then? Show us or stop wasting our time. Well, Mr. Wright, please show us the page. Where in this file is the information connected to this parent's name? Victim data or suspect data? We're in suspect data. It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, see? Indeed, it does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly. Exactly, Your Honor. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who had committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see. I guess that is possible. Bah, a mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog named Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, does that make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old. Indeed. Although it is a little weak in evidence for a murder trial, we'll need some other corroborating evidence. Where am I going to find that? Nick, we're getting closer. One more. If we could just get one more piece of evidence. Right. But what? Very well, witness, you may continue. Okay, you gotta press on that same statement again. Okay, it's the same stuff that's happened last time. This time you gotta ask, what is the safe number? Maybe I'll get her to say the number of that safe. Huh? The safe? Why? Let's just try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly! What was the number to the safe in the shack? 1228! 1228! My, what a reckless parent. Well, Mr. Wright, you aren't claiming that number has something to do with the caretaker? Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it. Ha! Ridiculous. How can a number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity? And once again, you have to present the Dl6 case file. If you guys remember, the Dl6 incident took place on December 28th, 12/28. 1228. Hello? There you go. Dl6 case file. What is this obsession you have with that case? Mr. Wright, where in this file is something relating to that safe number? The case summary. Obviously. It's on the case summary page. The case summary? Specifically, the date on which the Dl6 incident occurred. The date of the incident? December 28th. Why, that's today's date. 15 years ago. And the number on that safe is 1228. He used the date of the Dl6 incident as a number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important that date was to him. I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. It's not a coincidence, buddy. If it was just that one thing, yes. But the Dl6 incident date and his fiancée being named Polly and his parrot being named Polly, two coincidences start to look like a pattern, you know? People often do set their secret numbers to dates. Bah! This is not tangible proof. I set my ATM card's number to 0001 because I'm number 1. This has nothing to do with the date. Nothing. Well, thank you for telling us your ATM card number. I will be sure to use that along with your ATM card at a later point in time. That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that is a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. That's literally what I said earlier, buddy! You're taking the words right out of my mouth! Summon the caretaker of the bookshop. Immediately. Yeah, but no, the fact that this specific video is going up on 12/28/2021 is a huge coincidence. I promise you, I did not plan it out that way. I really did not plan it out for this video to go up on 12/28. But, hey, here we are. It's Dl6 day, buddy. Wait, this witness, he doesn't remember. No, it's okay. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order. Yanni Yogi. So was it you who killed Robert Hammond and tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond. He said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So, I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really. But he did believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancé, my social standing. Then, this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. A plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance after 15 years. This was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. But wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. Karma? Where is Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. Then, the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is innocent. In this case, at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared for suspicion for this particular case, so I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it! Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty for the murder of Robert Hammond! Woo! That is all. This court is adjourned. You think so.
Objection!
You all saw that smile on Von Karma's face. This is going exactly as he planned. It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No. Edgeworth! Your Honor, I object to your judgment. Why are you pointing towards... What direction are you pointing towards? I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Herman in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick! Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell them he was a murderer in the Dl6 incident. He's going to tell them he killed his own dad. Uh-oh. What do I do? Raise an objection or leave it to Edgeworth? It doesn't matter what you say, because Edgeworth's going to speak anyway. We're going to leave it to Edgeworth. He knows what he's doing. No, I'm sure Edgeworth thought about this one all long and hard. This isn't my place to interfere. You know what? Yeah, no, he's exactly right. He is exactly right. There's nothing we can do about it. It's just his problem now. Miles, for 15 years, I've had a recurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now I know it wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean, in the incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer. The criminal in the Dl6 incident. It was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for Dl6, the statute of limitations which ends today. The culprit is me. Order, order! This is certainly unexpected. The defendant declared innocent is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this, but it's obvious. We hold a trial, right here, right now. We try this man for his crime of 15 years ago. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. Yeah, things can't always just end smoothly for us, can it? Edgeworth. Oh well, that's whatever. I'm sorry, Wright. I just wasted all of your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, sir. I mean, you killed your dad? Didn't want to believe it myself, detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy! Just crazy! Nick? What are you doing? Huh? Oh, I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case for what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it. In court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. Nick? I mean, he did say that the big reason he became our defense attorney was for Miles Edgeworth, so I guess it's not surprising that he's gonna see this through to the end. Now then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. Statute of limitations on the Dl6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth please take the stand? Oh, boy. This is gonna be fun. No, it's not. But this is gonna be fun. Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth. 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. and testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That'll be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. Whew. Alright then. Let's hear it, Miles. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot and a terrible... Whoa. There was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. And until now, you thought his memory was a dream? We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I had lost my memory of the events. The same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. There is something we can actually object to in his testimony real quick. I'm going to zoom right to it. A single gunshot is what he says. If we look at the Dl6 case file, there were 2 shots that were fired. The murder weapon was fired twice. Objection! There were 2 gunshots that day, not just one. Are you sure you only heard 1 gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot, and then the scream, and then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. No, Your Honor. Unfortunately, you don't. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you tell us what page it's on. Which page contradicts Miles Edgeworth's testimony? It's in the victim data. You would think case summary, but no, it's in the victim data page. Look at the victim data in this file. It says it quite plainly. The murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard 1 gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot has anything to do with this incident. What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we've heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot fired had something to do with this case? Yes, we do. Of course we do. Why wouldn't we? Your Honor, I think I will be able to show you proof. What? Impossible. Now, Mr. Montcarma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright, show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of this pistol was related to the incident? We do! It is the Dl6 Incident Photo. Look at this photograph. Look at this graph! Okay, I probably can't sing that without getting copyrighted. This is a photograph of the crime scene 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice. The incident. This photo proves it. So, let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired? Where? Your Honor, please get a clue. No matter, we'll just present it. We can present the contradiction. We can present it. Obviously, there's 1 bullet that was fired into Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet hole's right there. The other bullet hole, the one we have to present, is the one that's on this glass right here. On the glass part of the elevator door. As should be obvious, the contradiction is here. I see. A bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet there was also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot. Order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright, who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the Dl6 Incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. The case summary? That's on page 1. Look at what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. The pistol had indeed fired 2 times. Then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was fired by his own son. That is the truth in this matter. The whole truth. There was undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hit a hole in the door. I will have order. Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. That the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. So all we have is a single bullet fired. I'm afraid I'll have to discount the defense's claim. Oof, I can't speak. Wow. I think I'm getting impatient with this because I want to just present the one evidence, or technically 2 pieces of evidence that can point at who the real murderer is, which I'm sure some of you have figured out who the real murderer is. I think I'm just getting impatient because I want to point that out already. Oh, I didn't drink water, man. My God, my throat. Whew. Anyway, no, Nick, you have not been wrong about this whole incident. What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures were for nothing. No. But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just, when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick? Well, it seems we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, but that was not your intention? Yes, I did. Oh no. He's accepted the guilt. Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant right here, today. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any objections? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the right words. Mr. Wright, No objections, or I have an objection. There's no objections. You can't really object to anything. Every lead I thought I had has been squashed. This is really the end. Edgeworth, I'm sorry. I closed my eyes. What was it that I'd been doing all this time? Wasn't my whole life leading up to today? But now that I'm here, I know I failed. Mia, I'm sorry. No, not yet. Huh? Maya? What? Object. Your only weapon. Are you okay? Nick? What's happening to me? I have to think. Wait, don't think. Act!
Objection!
Your Honor! I object! Mia? Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object? Nick? I don't know. His case is perfect. Oh no. Ah! It must exist. The second bullet. What? What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist? But where? Someone took it. Seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor! The second bullet! It existed! What? We've just heard proof that it did not exist. I realize that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. Who? The murderer! Murderer? Then tell us, just who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one. So the criminal took the second bullet. But why? Huh? First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? The murderer had to find it, the murderer didn't need it. The murderer did not need it. Why would the murderer have spent the time to look for that stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? The murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Had to take it. Had to take it? The murderer? What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking a bullet from the scene. But, the murderer had to take that bullet. Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean? Well, for instance... For instance what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer? The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could just perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's really what happened? Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murderer themselves was shot, and they left with the second bullet still inside of them, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime? Yeah. I guess that's how it would work, yes. But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean the murderer came from outside, yes. Looks like we've got a case again. Looks like we've got a case again. Thank you, some supernatural telling of Mia that's giving us hints and getting us going in this trial. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up... I think the judge is talking. I have no idea who's talking, so I'm just going to talk normally. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet... The bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then, the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping and I cannot... I can tell you're grasping, but at the same time I can't deny the fact that what you're saying is a possibility. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved in the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick! Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? I don't remember what I did for Grossberg's voice. I am so sorry. I remember nothing of what I did for his voice. I don't remember a thing. It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for a man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean... it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the Dl6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh, man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Say it now or save it for a better time? Say it now. There's no better time than this, man. Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect. I think, does he know we're about to name him? I feel like he knows we're about to name him. Alright. My hands are shaking. What? Von Karma! Von Karma? The pursuit music is playing and yet nothing's happening. The Von Karma, the prosecutor, the one standing right over there. But you don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. Nick! Let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma. Perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably did undergo surgery. I'll leave the doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane! No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. Wait, what does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where? I mean, if he didn't pull it out of himself and he didn't get the surgery to remove it, the only logical conclusion is that it's probably still inside of him. So now what we have to do is, is it impossible to prove, or can we show evidence? We can show evidence. Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. What? The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is the metal detector we borrowed from Gumshoe. Remember how I said when we first got presented with those options that the metal detector was going to be a key piece of evidence and that it would come in very handy during a trial? This is when it comes in handy. Present the metal detector. Von Karma is perfect. he wouldn't release, or what? Wouldn't release? He wouldn't risk surgery leaving an evidence trail. So then I asked, where is that bullet now? I think it's unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. No, you don't mean. I do. There is the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is that even possible? For all these years? It is actually technically possible. You can't keep a bullet inside your body for years at a time if it doesn't hit anything fatal. You know, if it's not like, you know, an inch away from your heart or something, or if it's not like lodged into your lung, if it doesn't hit anything fatal, then you technically can't keep a bullet lodged inside of your body for years. Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find. Another thing. Notice how whenever he gets nervous, his left arm always goes to his right shoulder. Funny nervous tick. People's nervous habits can reveal a lot about them, about their past, about their anxieties, etc., about things they'd like to keep secret. It's something that becomes a big part of a game in the future. From Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, it becomes a big part of that game. But it's interesting to note that his left hand always goes over his right shoulder whenever he gets. I refuse. You refuse? What refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you. Order. Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy.
Objection!
The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself your testing. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. Would you look at that? The metal detector detected something. It reacted! Something's inside his right shoulder! The bullet! Mr. Von Karma? You! It was you! I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the Dl6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to Dl6. What, Mr. Von Karma? Can you prove that? Proof? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here. Not I. But Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in... Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from Dl6? Of course he can't. You don't have any of the Dl6 evidence. That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday! With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. What? You were close. One day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the Dl6 incident. And here's my final proof. The Dl6 bullet that Maya managed to grab off of Von Karma yesterday when he tased them. What? A bullet? Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the Dl6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings. You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. We're not about to we know what ballistic markings are. They're the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. If the bullet, it's quite accurate. Yeah. I'm so impatient. We're already here and I'm getting impatient. I don't know why, but that's the whole thing. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We can analyze both bullets. Then, if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets had to have been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol. In other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. I'm not about to... Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove that bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? Yeah, I'm not about to yell. I'm not about to yell. That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. Help! I can't breathe. Okay, I've done this scene 2 times now. I'll stop you. Stop breathing my air! Yeah. Get away! Get away from my father! It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. Mr. Von Karma? So, it was you. You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with the penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you. Okay, he's gonna give himself a concussion. 15 years earlier. Chief Prosecutor, I'm sorry. On Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you'll have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth! It was a shock like none I had ever known. Me, penalized. It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly, I found myself in darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I wandered into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was noise. I was in pain. A horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then, the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then. It was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was unconscious. He died, never knowing who had shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge! What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now! End it. Very well. That was a train ride. Oh my god, that was a roller coaster ride. Yeah. No, very long way to the end of this maze. Very, very long. It took 15 years for this case to be solved. My goodness. You are innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty! Let's go! That is all. This court is adjourned. Whew! That was, Edgeworth, you really had us going there for a second. You could have just accepted it all and moved on, but no, you had to say, I killed my dad 15 years ago. It's fine. You know what? It's all fine.
Nick, we did it!
Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. Crushed! I gotta say, I'm impressed. It was pretty close, though. I was sure we'd had it. I know, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now it's all just a good memory. So, it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right. Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Try thank you. I see. Thank you, Wright. You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Sorry. I'm not good at this sort of thing. You've got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. She's got you there. Woohoo! Amazing, pal! You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I'll owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner is on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month, but who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth? You should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you'd say thank you. I see. Oh, God. No, it's this part. Yes, I'm sure you looked foolish while you did it as well. Don't worry. Take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all! Lotta! Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats! Thank y'all very... He's so bad at this. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You want to stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta? Who, me? Aw, I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? Huh? It's over, Nick! My life is over! Why the sad face, Larry? What happened now? Aw, Nick, I'm not long for this world. You don't look sick. It's Kance! She's going to live in Paris! Paris, Nick! She's leaving me behind! Should have seen that coming. Yo, Edgy! There you are! Yes. Here I am. Congrats, Edgy! Here, a little gift from me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along too tonight. My treat, pal. Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? Right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right. Yeah? What's up? That envelope that Larry gave me. It's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh. What a weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. $38 exactly? Nick! Wasn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth in school? 38? No. No! Larry, it was you! What are you so surprised about, Wright? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? But it doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? Think back to that day 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came into school anyway. Then he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. I never was good at history. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right, you may not use this, but we used to have a... You may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know! Really, Wright. I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Well, this sure is an unexpected turn of events, eh? Edgeworth. You should have told me! How now, Nick? It was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yes. There you have it! Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, you always have been something of an insufferable emotionalist. I love this guy. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily, too. Death! The death sentence for both of you! Man, if only I'd known I'd become a prosecutor. The same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought I might have killed my own father. I thought that I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth. Want to switch, Wright? Hey, y'all! Line up, I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time! Let's go! And after all that, dinner on me! Detective Gumshoe took us out in the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom. Even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. Whoa, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's still only 5. Maybe I should go back to sleep. Huh? What's this? A letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium. In training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth, too. I wanted to help you. But I couldn't. I was useless. So I've decided to go back to my training. I've become a full-fledged spirit medium for stars. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? What time is it? Ah! The first trains for the mountains have already left. To the station! To the station! Ah! I guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick! Maya! So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me. Be good, okay?
Hold it!
Wait! What? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yes. Only her voice, but still. I was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in the daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? Show Maya some evidence and cheer her up. You would think you show her the picture of her mom. No. What you show her is the Dl6 bullet. We would not have gotten that bullet without her. A bullet? Von Karma was convinced he had taken all the evidence pertaining to Dl6. But you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me. Nick? Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay. I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. Oh, might want to get on that train, Maya. So, this is it. See you soon, Maya. I think all in all, that's a good ending to this, yeah? Aw, Maya. Thanks, Nick. And so, my story ends. Time to turn a new page. And say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins. With the same old crazy cast of characters. Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim. Yes, Your Honor. Uh-oh, I got a bad feeling about this.
Objection!
And with that is the end of the original Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Now, that's the end. Hey, pal! Mr. Edgeworth came down to the precinct to wish me a Happy New Year. Talk about a pleasant surprise. Oh, I love him. Then he hung his head low and went right back outside. Kinda like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? Nope, that sounds just like Edgeworth. But no, that is the end of the original Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So this Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney first came out on the Game Boy, back in 2001, I want to say. I think it was earlier than that. Yeah, so the original game that came out on the Game Boy back then, and technically ends right here. It ends right after Turnabout Goodbyes. But then the game was remastered for the Nintendo DS, and when it was remastered for the Nintendo DS, a new case was added to the game called Rise from the Ashes. Now, Rise from the Ashes is a rather long case. It is a pretty long case. I will be playing through the case, of course. But I'm gonna let these credits play through because technically this is the official end of the game. Rise of the Ashes is technically some sort of DLC. It's an addition that was brought about from the remaster, the Nintendo DS remaster. And since it was in the Nintendo DS remaster, it shows up in the 3DS remaster and is also on the Nintendo Switch remaster of the trilogy. So I will be playing through Rise of the Ashes. It is a long case. Warning, it is a long case. I'm probably gonna have to split it up into like 10, maybe 11 videos. So you're in for a ride. But that is all for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Like, subscribe. Happy Dl6 Day because this video does go up on December 28th. It's the day that Miles Edgeworth got declared innocent of both the murder of Robert Hammond and of his father. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!